when you talk about censorship, most people think about One Piece. They say One Piece has the worst censorship ever, so let's see this.
These are 26 One Piece moments that got changed in the anime, and we're going to list them from the
Okay, this is a censorship to the for the manga to the anime, so it's not for kids. It's
most
the
well-known to
Japanese
the most hitting
television.
moments, starting with this scene in anime where owner Zeph loses his leg. In the anime, owner Zeph loses his leg when trying to save Sanji from drowning, but in the manga, it's completely different. In the manga, he chops off his own leg in
Wow!
order to survive starvation. Yeah, he ate his own leg.
What? How it happens in the anime? I remember. He's stuck with something on his leg. He needs to cut to save his life. But what?
But this isn't the only thing
He needed to eat his own leg.
that changed in the Bada T arc. When I was researching facts for this video, I noticed a change that blew my mind away. Remember the scene where Sanji insists on cooking for Don Krieg's men? In the anime, the Bada T staff starts pointing
This is a restaurant with those
kitchen
knives and
equipment at him.
forks.
In the manga, however, the kitchen equipment is replaced with guns. Yeah, you heard that right. Now, you probably already know that this red-nosed man treats his crew members pretty...
But those were Sanji's friends. Why are they trying to
you
kill
heard that
him?
right. Now, you probably already know that this red-nosed man treats his crew members pretty badly. But the manga version of Buggy is so much more evil. When he first gets introduced in the anime, there's a scene where he's choking one of his crew members because Buggy thought he had insulted his nose. Well, in the manga, Buggy does something way worse. He instead orders his other crew member to blow him to smithereens. Buggy isn't the only person who gets annoyed easily. Because Bellamy...
Everybody loves Buggy. He was the most hated character. Everybody hated him. Nobody liked him. And now everybody's a fan of Buggy.
Even worse. You see, when Bellamy was playing cards with Roshio, when he noticed that Roshio...
This is another character. This is the opposite. Now people like Bellamy, but in Skypia, everybody hated him.
was cheating in the game of cards, he decided to throw him out the window after shooting him. If you think this is bad, then wait till you hear the manga version. In the manga, Bellamy not only shoots him, but also sets him on fire. But the changes
What the fuck?
that were made to the anime were not only censorship. There were tons of other differences. For instance, the beginning of the anime is different from how it is in the manga. The manga starts off by showing Luffy as a kid with Shanks, whereas the anime starts off with Luffy and
Yeah, I don't remember if the anime shows how Luffy made his car.
Kobe and Alvida's ship. Which way do you prefer? Another change made is the addition of Sabo.
Yeah, I didn't read the anime because I didn't read the manga. I just watched the anime, so I only remember about that first episode. I remember that I didn't like the first episode when I saw it, and because I don't know, it was strange to me this. But after the episode when they showed Shanks and his flashback, and I think this the episode 3. I don't know. And then I started to me. People say One Piece starts to be cool after 40 episodes or after 60 episodes. But to me, it started to be cool after the episode 3 when they show Shanks losing his own arm. And I'm like, oh my god, this anime is cool.
Sabo's backstory after the end of the Dressrosa arc. In the manga, Sabo's backstory isn't there. Oda actually explained that he gave the creators of the anime the draft of Sabo's backstory to specifically include in the show because he didn't have time to write it into the manga. These were only the first tier of facts. For the next tier, the changes will be even crazier, so keep your eyes open. Anyway,
Yeah,
let's
my
move
eyes
on.
are open.
You probably know
Really
that Sanji
open.
smokes a lot, but have you ever wondered where this addiction started? Well, if you were an anime-only watcher, listen
Don't say to me that he smokes crack in the manga.
up. In the manga, Sanji decides to start smoking
In
as
the manga, he's smoking crack in the pipe crack.
a child. Yep, he started smoking in his early days at Barati because he wanted to become a man.
Yes,
Moving on from Sanji
a real man smokes.
on to Zoro. Did you know that he's way more violent in the manga than in the anime? Remember this ugly guy's pet wolf that Zoro threw a chair on in the anime?
What a ugly
There's
design.
just a tiny difference in the anime. Instead of only throwing a chair at the wolf, Zoro kills it. However, this is nothing compared to the time when this tattoo on Ace's back changed. In the
What, he was a Nazi?
manga, Ace originally had a symbol on his back that represents well-being. However, this symbol can be connected to some other not-so-nice things as well. That's why this later got changed into anime into this. Oda also decided to change it in the manga later on.
Okay. But
We all know that Bartolomeo is
A lot of people, you see this on the internet. A lot of people make tattoos. They tattoo aces, the white beard symbol. Would they tattoo the swastika symbol?
Obsessed with Luffy, and the lengths he's willing to go to are absolutely insane. Like this time when this guy insulted Luffy, Bartolomeo gets so upset that he decided to grab the guy's tongue and slice it. A bit too far in my opinion. In the anime, it was changed to only grabbing the guy's tongue for obvious reasons. Out of all the censorship
Wait,
in One Piece, the most obvious one has
but I thought Shonen Jump was more for kids, and I didn't know that you could be this violent on Shonen Jump.
to be the middle finger.
I think that's cool because if I had I don't know 13 years old and I'm reading a manga and you see a guy chopping a guy's tongue off, I would think, oh, this is the coolest anime of all time, because this is what I did when I watched Naruto, and I was 14 and I saw Jiraiya losing his arm, and I was like, my god, this is the coolest thing ever.
In the
Violence, I love.
Just seem to love pointing their middle finger. However, this all changed in the anime. One of the most infamous moments is in chapter 500, where Laws points the finger at Kid. Pretty funny if you ask me. Okay,
Yes,
these
it's
facts
cool.
were pretty crazy, but let's move on to the next tier where the facts will be even crazier. Remember the pattern top Vivi used to wear when she was undercover as a Baroque Works member? Well, the pattern on the
Perfume
top didn't
dance.
actually look like this originally. It was most likely changed because the top she wears in the manga is a little more, you know.
Oh, it looks like that Pokemon, the Pokemon, the hypnot.
In the
I
manga,
think
it
it's
looks like this. Instead of the stripes being wavy, they're circular. Another thing that's circular is the hole made on Whitebeard by Akainu. But this isn't the only injury he got in Marineford. In chapter 575 of the manga, he also got half of his head chopped off by Akainu.
Wait,
In the anime, this was reduced to only half his
I think the anime part is already violent. So seeing this, to me, it's wait, what?
mustache getting melted off by Akainu's Mago Mago no Mi.
I,
But Akainu,
when I watched this for the first time, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, because it's so violent. They destroyed his body and he's still standing there like nothing happened. And but if you like what happened in the manga, what the fuck?
isn't the only one that became a donut. Nojiko, Nami's sister, also did. Okay, she didn't really become one, but she did get shot by 3 Marines in the manga. In the anime, however, this was changed into something more heroic. In the anime, the Marine was shooting at Nami, but Nojiko stepped in and took the bullet for her sister. So tragic. And the tragedies don't end there, because Belmir, Nami,
but-
and Nojiko's mom also got shot. She got shot by Arlong in the chest. In the
Yeah.
manga, however, this was a bit more gruesome. Instead of getting shot in the chest, she was shot in the head. I think that's enough tragedies for now. Instead,
Wow.
let's move on to plot holes. Eiichiro Oda is just a next level author because trying to find plot holes in One Piece is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. In fact, the anime has a ton more plot holes than the manga. The main reason for this is filler episodes. For instance, upon first meeting the dragon at Punk Hazard, the Straw Hats say that they've never met a dragon before. Well, they actually did on the Warship Island arc. Something else I noticed was in the arc when Kabaji was
But this was a dragon.
fighting Zoro. When I first watched the anime, I saw that Zoro let Kabaji injure him to give Kabaji an advantage. But when I read the manga, I noticed that it's completely different. In the manga, Zoro injures himself on purpose. He's
So retarded.
such a badass. And in this scene in the anime where
But
Luffy
why? Why would he do that? Why? I remember that Naruto classic that he puts an kunai in his hand, like yeah.
pokes a hole in his straw hat after Nami fixes it. She gets mad and yells at Luffy, but in the manga, things take a rather violent turn.
Yeah, that's when they started to grow Nami's boobies.
She doesn't only yell, but instead takes a needle and pokes Luffy in the eye. She can be pretty scary sometimes. At least Luffy managed to pay her back by saving her in the Syrup Village arc. Luffy managed to catch one of Django's chakrams in his mouth last second and crush it, but in the manga, the chakram hits the back of his head. Okay, now we've reached the final tier.
What the fuck? The manga is really
And
violent.
it's time for the craziest changes in the entire show. And we've got to start off with this scene where this dumb little kid gives himself a scar under his eye. In the manga, this was shown way earlier than in the anime.
first chapter.
In the anime, this was only recently shown in filler episodes, but in the manga, it was shown in the first chapter. I wonder why it didn't get shown to anime-only watchers earlier. Now, we all know that Sanji
Yeah,
is
because this is one interesting thing, because I didn't read the manga, so I only watched the anime. And when I watch it, I didn't know why he had this scar. So in my head, I was all the time thinking, why does this guy has this fucking scar on his face? And I didn't know. And for a long time, I didn't know. I don't think. I think I discovered this through some meme or some some image. I don't know, but I for the longest time I didn't know why he had this scar in his face. So
Is a
yeah,
massive simp, but he can be quite noble sometimes. In the manga, there's a part where he gets stabbed quite brutally when holding Nami in his arms by Absalom. He throws away Nami because he refuses to let blood get on her dress. In the anime, it got changed to
wow,
the knife not fully going through him.
this is the most like incredible.
It's still
This is the
pretty
this is a true gentleman.
noble of him, though. Something not so noble, however, is Sanji asking
He respects fashion.
Nami this and the Salvati arc. When I read the manga, I was in shock after reading that. Luckily, this was changed in the anime to him getting furious over people treating a lady this way. Let's just say I prefer the anime version of Sanji. But listen, when I was doing research, I
Sanji is weird because he's a real gentleman, but he's still like disrespectful at the same time. He's the both extremes at the same time because he is trying to sneak peek girls. He's trying to, I don't know if this is the word, sneak peek. I don't even know what that means. So he tries to, you know, watch the girls like a pervert, and he tries to do a lot of pervert things, but at the same time he's a gentleman. So yes, all gentlemen are pervert, or all perverts are gentlemen. Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
noticed another change in the anime that made me so sad. In the anime, there's this scene where the townfolk were praying and crying because they had little to no food. But in the manga, this was way worse. In the manga, the people were getting ready to end everything. Now, let's go back in time a little onto
They
the
would kill
little
the
garden
baby.
arc with the two giants, Dori and Brogy. Remember when Zoro, Nami, Vivi, and Brogy were captured by Mr. 3? Well, in
Mr.
the
3.
anime, Mr. 3
Best
only
design.
put shackles around Brogy's wrists. In the manga, however, this takes a dark turn. Instead of only putting shackles around his arms, he puts giant wax swords through his hands to make him stuck. Another change made in the Little Garden arc is when Zoro tried to chop his own
Yeah,
leg
no, the ending day of No Fap Challenge.
off to free himself from the wax statue. In the manga, Zoro manages to cut half of his leg off before Usopp and Luffy manages to save them. In the anime, this was toned down a lot. Luckily, they made it in time, or else the rest of the series would have been a lot different. These facts were pretty cool, but I've done so much research that I even found some changes to everyone's favorite arc, Long Ring Long Land, with
What the fuck is this bear?
this very normal character. In the fight with Luffy, Foxy manages to fall right on his own spike
But
trap.
this is a
In the
filler, I
manga, the
think.
spikes went
No, it's not.
completely through him, but in the anime, it was changed to him being inches above the spikes. Cartoon physics can be pretty crazy at times. These facts were insane, but if you want something that will absolutely blow your mind, then check
What the fuck? Zoro in Minecraft or Roblox.